Once upon a time, there was a revered guru named Ayodhadhamya who had 3 disciples. His third disciple was Veda. One day, the guru said to Veda, "My son, stay in my house for a while and serve me. You will be blessed if you do so." Veda stayed on, doing all the chores in his guru's household. He endured all kinds of hardship, heat, cold, hunger, and thirst without complaining, just like an ox bearing its master's burden. Pleased with his service, Ayodhadhamya blessed Veda with good fortune and great knowledge. When his tutelage ended, Veda asked his guru's permission to leave and then became a householder. In his own home, he had 3 disciples. But because of the difficulties he had faced as a student, he was always kind to his own disciples and never treated them harshly. Among Veda's disciples was Utanka. One day, Veda had to travel somewhere and said to Utanka, "My son, I am leaving home for some work. While I am gone, do everything in my house just as I would do it myself." Utanka obeyed dutifully, looking after all the household matters. During Veda's absence, the women of the house came to Utanka and said, "Your mistress is in her fertile time, and your guru is not here. It is now your duty to take his place." Shocked, Utanka refused and replied, "My guru never told me to commit such a sin. I cannot do this just because you say so." When Veda returned and heard the story, he was very pleased that Utanka had remained loyal and pure. "Utanka," he said, "ask me for any boon. You have served me faithfully, and I want to grant you a wish. You may now return home, and may all your desires be fulfilled." Utanka then said, "Guru, let me first offer you my Guru Dakshina, a teacher's due. It is said that if a guru gives instruction without receiving Dakshina, or a disciple learns without giving Dakshina, enmity rises between them. I must offer something to show my gratitude." Veda replied, "All right, my son. Go and ask my wife what she would like as Guru Dakshina. Whatever she asks for, bring it to her." Utanka went to his guru's wife and said, "I have received permission to go home, but before I leave, I wish to give you something that makes you happy, so I do not remain in my guru's debt. Please tell me what you would like." She replied, "Go to King Parikshit and request the queen's earrings from him. There is a sacred day coming soon, and I want to wear those earrings when I serve the Brahmanas. If you succeed in bringing them, you will have good fortune. But if you fail, your fortune will vanish." Utanka immediately set off to fetch the earrings. On his way, he saw a huge bull and an equally large man riding it. The man said to him, "Utanka, eat the dung of this bull. Your guru ate it too." At first, Utanka refused, but when the man insisted, saying his guru had also done the same, he obeyed. Then he cleansed himself and continued on his journey. He arrived at King Parikshit's court and politely asked for the queen's earrings as Guru Dakshina for his guru's wife. Parikshit told him to go inside the palace and request the queen herself. But when Utanka entered the royal chambers, he could not find the queen anywhere. Returning to the king, he complained, "You tricked me. Your queen is nowhere to be found." Parikshit replied, "My queen is very chaste. If you have not purified yourself properly, she will not appear before you. Perhaps you made some mistake." Utanka then remembered that, being in a hurry, he had performed his ablutions while standing. So he now washed himself carefully and sat in proper posture to do achmana, ritual sipping of water. This time, when he re-entered the queen's chambers, she appeared before him and greeted him warmly. Utanka explained his reason for coming. The queen, moved by his sincerity, handed over her precious earrings to him. She warned, The serpent king Takshaka has always coveted these earrings. Guard them carefully. Utanka thanked her, saying, "Do not worry, I will protect them." He returned to King Portia, who invited him to stay for a Shraddha ceremony. While the king offered him food, Utanka found a hair in it and saw that the food was cold. Considering it unclean, he said to the king, "Because you have served me unclean food, you shall go blind." Portia, angered by this, retorted, "Because you falsely call clean food unclean, you shall be childless." When they examined the food again, they saw it truly was unclean. Realizing his error, Portia begged forgiveness. Utanka insisted the king's curse would stand, but Portia said that, being a Kshatriya, he could not withdraw his curse due to his unyielding nature. Utanka, however, assured Portia that since the food was indeed unclean, the curse would not affect him. Utanka left with the earrings. But on the way, he saw a strange beggar who appeared and disappeared at will. Placing the earrings on the ground while he went to bathe, Utanka was shocked to see the beggar snatch the earrings and vanish into a hole. Utanka chased him and soon realized the beggar was none other than Takshaka, the serpent king. Takshaka dived into the underworld, Nagloka, taking the earrings with him. Desperate, Utanka tried digging into the hole but could not get very far. Lord Indra, seeing his plight, sent his thunderbolt, Vajra, to help. The thunderbolt entered Utanka's stick and bore a tunnel into Nagloka. When Utanka entered the realm of the serpents, he saw a grand city full of majestic palaces and gardens. He praised the serpents with sacred verses, but still, Takshaka did not give back the earrings. Then Utanka noticed two young women weaving a cloth with black and white threads, a wheel with 12 spokes turned by 6 boys, and a shining man on a blazing horse. Utanka realized they were not ordinary beings. He worshipped them with mantras. The man on the horse, pleased with Utanka, granted him a boon. Utanka asked for power over the Nagas. The man told him to blow upon the horse. When Utanka blew on the horse, fire and smoke emerged from every part of the horse's body, burning Nagloka. Terrified, Takshaka rushed out with the earrings and surrendered them to Utanka. Utanka then worried about returning on time. The sacred day mentioned by his guru's wife was at hand. The man on the fiery horse told him to ride the horse, which instantly took him to his guru's house. He arrived just when his guru's wife was about to curse him if he failed to bring the earrings. Overjoyed, she took the earrings and blessed Utanka for his devotion. Utanka told his guru everything that had happened, the strange man on the bull who made him eat dung, the weavers, the wheel with 12 spokes, the shining horse, and Takshaka's theft. His guru explained that the two young women were Dhata and Vidhata, weaving day and night, black and white threads. The wheel with 12 spokes was the year, turned by the 6 seasons. The man was Parjanya, the rain god, and the horse was Agni, the fire god. The bull was actually Airavata, lord of elephants, and the man riding it was Indra. By eating the bull's dung, which was actually Amrita, Utanka had gained protection against death in Nagloka. Having completed his duty, Utanka was filled with anger toward Takshaka. He made his way to Hastinapura where King Janamejaya, the son of the late King Parikshit, was seated in court, just returned victorious from Takshashila. Utanka blessed the king and then asked, "Rajan, why do you idle your time in small affairs when there is something more important you should do?" When the king asked what he meant, Utanka told him how Takshaka had killed King Parikshit, Janmejaya's father, by biting him with his deadly venom. He also revealed how Takshaka had bribed the sage Kashyapa to turn back when Kashyapa was on his way to cure Parikshit. Now, Utanka said, was the time for Janamejaya to avenge his father's death through a grand snake sacrifice, the Sarpa Yajna, in which Takshaka would be destroyed. Hearing this, King Janamajaya's fury rose like a flame fed with ghee. Grieving for his father, he resolved to perform the great snake sacrifice, setting the stage for the events that would later unfold in the Mahabharata. This is how the Pausha Parva of the Adi Parva ends, showing how Utanka's tale and Janamajaya's determination led to the famous Serpent Sacrifice that would become a key episode in the epic. With 700 episodes planned, this is the ultimate detailed retelling of the timeless masterpiece, Mahabharata. Don't miss a single chapter. Subscribe to Orifind now and turn on notifications to stay on this epic journey from start to finish.